Pride in our record. What we promised, we delivered. Pride in the future and what we promise to do next.
A giant, a titan and a legend. Just some of the tributes to John Prescott from former colleagues. He rose from being a ship's steward to Deputy Prime Minister for 10 years. And he became a link between the New Labour project and the party's more traditional roots. Speaking in the Commons, the Prime Minister led tributes.
A man who fought for working-class ambition because he lived it. As one of the key architects of a Labour government, John achieved that rare thing. He changed people's lives, and he set the path for us all to follow.
Mr Prescott helped Mr Blair lead Labour into the new millennium. He stood for Labour leader in 1994, but lost to Mr Blair, then became his deputy. After Labour's landslide victory in 1997, as well as Deputy Prime Minister, he became Secretary of State for a giant department for the environment, transport and the regions. But he was often ridiculed for his unorthodox use of language.
When the Deputy Prime Minister said of local government last week, if you want to have a unitary, then you can have a ballot, discuss it with the people, but if you want it, fine. What exactly did he mean?
I think it's very, very clear, and I'm just surprised the Right Honourable Gentleman can't follow it.
One of his biggest achievements was the Kyoto Protocol, one of the most significant treaties on climate change ever negotiated.
Madam Speaker, I don't think that speech was worth coming back for.
But during his long career, there were controversies and scrapes. During the 2001 general election campaign, he punched a man in Rhyl in North Wales. He said he was just an ordinary bloke and reacted as an ordinary bloke would. But now political opponents are paying tribute too.
He was the sort of politician you could really have a good laugh with and a friendly conversation with, even though you knew, of course, at the next question time you'd be giving each other hell. But he was a great guy. I will miss him a lot, actually.
In 2006, he was involved in a scandal when he admitted an affair with his diary secretary. And when Mr Blair left Downing Street in 2007, Mr Prescott followed soon after. Paying his tribute, the former Prime Minister said, "He was one of the most talented people I ever encountered in politics, one of the most committed and loyal, and definitely the most unusual." Gordon Brown added his tribute.
John Lennon talked about working-class heroes, and it's a very difficult term to understand and follow and to be one, but I think John comes nearest to it, and I think he would like that to be his epitaph. He was a titan, he was a colossus, but he was also a working-class hero.
After leaving the Commons in 2010, he became a life peer. But he later battled illness and suffered a stroke in 2019. His last appearance in the Lords was in 2022, where he spoke about one of his great passions, climate change. An MP for 40 years, Britain's longest-serving Deputy Prime Minister, John Prescott was combative, outspoken and controversial. He was a one-off. John Craig, Sky News.